So my name is Guy Pattison. I'm founding partner of an organisation called the Long Run Venture, and we're interested in helping entrepreneurs who have got solutions to long run challenges grow their business faster. And for us, long run challenges are things like urbanisation, climate change, youth unemployment, ageing population, and the types of activities, and probably what we'll chat about is something we call an entrepreneur mission, which is an alternative to a trade mission. So it's for earlier stage, more innovative companies, taking them overseas, giving them an immersive experience, building contacts, networks, insights, etc., so that they start doing business overseas much earlier in their business development. The premise is really simple. It's a competition. It's a competition to find 20 of the UK's best startups in a particular sector. So for this one, Clean and Cool Mission, it's about finding startups in clean tech. It's about finding early stage and highly innovative companies that can have a real transformational impact if they kind of break through. And then really what we're trying to do is kind of inspire and equip them to do business overseas faster. And so the crux of that is a week overseas. But there's preparation and kind of post-mission support there as well. Well, I think for all entrepreneurs, they have, in whatever sector, they will always kind of tell you they've got the same challenges. So access to finance is the most obvious one. And clearly, if you're looking at, say, clean tech sector, there is kind of lots of different types of financing available in the UK, but there's a much greater volume of it and a different appetite for it over in the US. So, it's kind of natural that a UK company might look over to the US. Yes, I mean, that's definitely a challenge, and probably it's more readily recognised by either the very, very best entrepreneurs who realise when it's the right time to hand the baton over for their startup, or it's the kind of outside-in perspective. So, it's when the advisory board or the investors kind of see it, but the kind of entrepreneur is a bit blind to it. But I think there's also differences between different sectors. So, if you're kind of in the kind of traditional kind of web tech space, obviously you can scale a business much quicker than if you're in a healthcare space, let's say. Where there's a lot more kind of investment required up front, probably before you're pre-revenue. There's a lot of kind of clinical trials that you might have to go through. There's a lot of kind of regulatory involvement. So you might have a kind of an entrepreneur / CEO of a health startup, which would be much bigger and more mature than a kind of web tech business, and they probably have quite different characteristics. There's a few. I mean, there's the financial services sector, so I think some of the things that are happening in kind of fintech are quite interesting. There's the health and kind of life sciences space, which I almost kind of think is the unsung hero. I mean, if you're in that sector, you know how good the UK is at it. If you're outside of it, you just don't have any sense, I don't think, that it's a sector that the UK should be really proud of, and that we're globally genuinely a real leader up there, number 1 or 2 in the world. I think clean tech is very interesting. I don't know how long that phrase will be around. I think one of the biggest impacts it can have is within cities, and actually that offers a kind of a unique opportunity perhaps for the UK to get hold of now, which could really kind of pay out in terms of economic benefit to this country in the next 20-30 years.